This video is sponsored by absolutely nobody. Please sponsor us.
You heard the lady. Welcome back to Sam and Ham.
This is Sam.
And this is Ham.
And what are we doing today?
Today, we are looking at the most important thing that you need to play Dungeons and Dragons.
To collect shiny things?
No, the other most important thing.
The divider board for the DM to hide his lack of preparation.
No, the other thing.
A bottle of water. Drink your water.
That's fair. No! The character sheet!
Oh, what's that?
It's the thing you put the stats down on. The numbers, the part that you don't like.
Ah, the numbers that I don't like.
Yeah.
Bad maths.
Yeah. So, there's all kinds of character sheets. I've used a number in my day. I know you've used a few yourself.
Yes, definitely.
I figured that it would be kind of fun for us to sit down, compare and contrast some character sheets, and you know, let the people of YouTube know exactly which one is objectively the best one that they should all be using. And if you're not using it, you're wrong, obviously.
This is also a ploy for us to try to get people to point out character sheets to us so we can find slightly less better ones, right?
Yeah. If you have one that you like, I mean, it clearly can't be better than the one that we like, which we don't know what it is yet, but we're going to find out. But if you wanted to send us it, it'd probably be cool.
I like trying new character sheets.
Yeah. And I haven't used all these, but I think some of them look cool.
All right, let's see what we got.
Okay, so starting off with the tried and true, the classic, the Dungeons and Dragons official 5th edition character sheet from Wizards of the Coast. This one, I think literally everybody who's played D&D 5th edition has used.
Understandable.
I mean, you've seen this.
Yeah, it's your standard. It starts off with your character's name at the top, not your player's name. That's very important.
That's true.
Actually, player's name is over there sidelined on the right. Sad. It's got your basic important stats there on the left. It seems left to right is the level of importance.
Yeah.
Left to right, top to bottom, which is unfortunate because my equipment very important. I need to know what's in my backpack.
Yeah, it's got a little small box down here. I think this box of other proficiencies in language might be a little bit too large. I mean, I never fill it up usually. But otherwise, I think this is there's a reason this is the gold standard, right? Like, this I almost never use. Like, I don't need to write that down, but I mean, it's cool that it's there. It's got the hit points.
Definitely. I understand, though. I feel like you, just pointing you out, not to put you on the spot here, you underutilize that personality trait. I like jotting some notes in there, like, totally hates Brad.
That's fair.
Unfortunately, I don't really do very well with, ideals, bonds, and flaws, unless ideals is hates Brad. I'm sorry, Brad.
Sorry, Brad. It does have all your skills. It has the little stat next to your skill, because, I mean, some players will say, how do I calculate my acrobatics score? It's your dexterity.
You're right, that does say, hey, here is how that be. And
on page two I rarely use myself. Again, I normally have a pretty good picture of my character in my head. Actually, also mostly a DM, so, you know.
Big sad.
Pour one out for the forever DMs out there. But, I mean, it's got plenty of stuff there, and page 3 is where it's got all of your spells, which, you know, this is where the fighter writes stab. Right, okay.
But, very vanilla, very...
Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything intrinsically wrong with this one.
No.
But let's see if we can improve upon the formula, yeah?
Yeah, okay. Let's see what we got. What's next?
So the first one I found was this one.
Okay.
Now, it looks very similar, just comparing the two at first.
One said sad, one didn't.
Yeah, I mean, they both still have the dragon at the top.
Yeah. Okay, so is this one still Wizards of the Coast?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
I downloaded a large bundle of them, I believe all from Wizards of the Coast, and this was in the folder.
Okay.
And mainly the big difference, I guess, is just where your skills and saving throws are over here on the left.
Okay.
Which I think I kind of like this setup just a little bit better, because with this one, you have to look over here for your saving throws, and then down here for your skills. Whereas this one, strength, all my strength stuff's right here. All my dex stuff, it's all right here. Constitution looks a little sad because it doesn't have anything, but the rest of these all look nice and full.
Right, so, I mean, the positive side of this is just based on how your brain thinks. Like, if you're telling me to do an athletics check, I'm eventually going to learn athletics as a strength-based check, and I'm going to look there. However, Some people don't think that way. Some people think alphabetically, which is that original sheet that we looked at, because that was how they were organized.
You're right. Those are alphabetical.
Yeah, those are alphabetical. However, if you're telling me, you're going to make me an intelligence check, decide which intelligence check you want me to make. And then I have to look through that whole alphabetical list to decide what's an intelligence check, whereas on the other sheet, it's all right there.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have a good point. I honestly, when I was glancing at this one, I thought this one was just objectively better. Like, I like this one better than the first one. But you bring up a good point that players that are newer probably gonna know stuff by alphabet, before the skill that they're based on, which I guess that does make sense.
Understandable, but also grouping them together is good for a new player. Grouping them together, the other one. Grouping them together like that, because it is a new player, so you point out what numbers they're adding in faster, because some of us don't write the little number in the plus whatever modifier next to the stat. Because, some of us are not good at keeping track of numbers. Or some players are trying to learn that are new, and they want to know where these numbers are coming from, so you go, oh, yes. Yeah. You add your athletics score, and since it's right there, they can easily see that big plus or minus, and then do quicker maths.
Yeah, I have yet to meet a player that didn't just kind of fumble their way through the first number of sessions.
Understandable.
But yeah, so I think rather than trying to give these objective numbers, do we want to call this one better or worse than the previous sheet?
I personally love them grouped together like this. Just based off this, we haven't even gone through the whole sheet. We just sat there and stat blocks.
Well, that's because it doesn't actually have anything on pages 2 or 3 for this one.
Gotcha. 2 and 3 are just the same thing then. Yeah, okay. I mean, I do like the lines because I am a horrible writer, so conforming me to lines are nice.
I like that too, and I think the reason this one doesn't is because this one's actually a form fillable one.
And the other one's not.
The other one
it's just
isn't
printable.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Which does suck, but
it does suck for those of us digital in the digital world. But if you're a material girl, Vanessa, you just print it off and write it in.
That's true.
All right.
Ready to move on?
Yeah. Right now, I feel like.
So this one this is the best one so far.
Better for organization of my monkey brain, yes.
In that same weird D&D bundle that I have saved on my computer, I found this guy.
What is this?
Yeah, okay, so this is where we start to get weird. So I don't... It's got, yeah, just take a minute to take it in.
It's been less than a minute, but I'm a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, well, it's got coinage here, okay? And it's got the racial traits, that's probably a little too big of a box, because...
Racial traits are only like 1 or 2 things, unless you're really homebrewing something.
I mean, some people do have a lot of racial traits, especially like elves and stuff, elves and dwarves. But, like, you get them all at level 1.
True.
Meanwhile, class features here has 1 box, about the same size. Your whole class is supposed to fit in there? That's a little rough.
That is rough.
It's got a nice little portrait right up here, which could be cool for those of you who are artsy.
Yeah, I do like having the space to draw my person.
I like the weapon attacks and then spell attacks here, which this would be fantastic if you're playing somebody that has both, but 90% of people don't.
I mean, true, but even a wizard has like a little slot for their dagger. Like, what are the odds? True. Like, wizards shouldn't be stabbing anybody, but sometimes
you gotta shank a man. That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying.
So then it also has the spells here, which I actually do kind of like the spell setup where it just says spells per day, spells used, here's your DC. Bada bing, bada boom.
I do like that.
Because you don't need to worry about the attack or the modifier, because the attack bonus is right here, and the modifier is going to be right here. Your initiative, speed, vision, if you have dark vision or something, all of that normal mumbo jumbo is right here, front and center. Your spells, there's not nearly enough room. Not nearly. Your proficiencies over here. You kind of had to write your skills over here.
This is worse.
Well, now, I do like this page.
Okay, what's on? Oh.
It's got equipment separated out by, what you're wearing in your spot. Treasure. How many arrows you got. Some potions you might have. Torches. Feats. Background. Notes. I like this page. Now, I
do like the breakdown of the equipment, because how many times have you asked us what kind of armor we're wearing, and we never bothered to write it down?
Yeah, because you guys just write down your AC usually.
Yeah.
And I know this would be really great on my armorer, artificer, and because the armor literally breaks it all down of, I have this helmet and this chest piece and shin guards, angry fist, belt, and high heels.
Yeah.
But okay, I think we've looked at this.
This one's just too much for me. I don't like the organization. Like, I don't like that the spell attacks up top are different than the spells down below, and I don't like they're that far apart.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like, you're gonna turn some heads when you bring this one to the table, but
definitely.
I think it'd work. The problem is it takes up, like, if you're a fighter, too much of your page is being taken up by spells and spell attacks and spell modifier. But if you're a wizard, you don't have enough room.
Yeah.
I kind of think the idea, like, there's a whole freaking page dedicated to spells, and if you're the fighter, you just don't gotta print that page out.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, we're chucking this one by the wayside.
Worst. I don't like it. It's too much for me.
So this one you have used before.
Ah, yes.
The character-specific character sheet. Or the class-specific character sheet. And this one was made by Emmett Byrne on DM's Guild. That's why I had to write it down.
Gotcha. Way to throw that in there.
There are a whole bunch of sheets for each specific class. So this one is clearly the Barbarian sheet. It is form fit. It's the same skill setup from the second one we looked at, where it's set by thing. It's got all of your relevant stats over here, and obviously the main draw to this one is that it writes out all of your abilities for you in, like, shorthand, how to remember it. So this one gives you rage right here. It tells you your armor of defense. Gives you all of your, like, class features. You just got to write in your, like, primal paths, your, subclass.
Yes. So this part I did absolutely love because we started at level 3, so I got to choose my primal for Barbarian, the primal path beforehand. So that way I got to type in literally everything in there. Yep. Those features, like, I just went ahead and picked them ahead of time. Yep. And then we printed it off, and now I don't have to worry about class features. They're just already there.
I really like this sheet. I think the biggest flaw is the fact that these are taking up way too much room on my small solid state drive.
Understandable. Yeah, that is the unfortunate side, is these things are taking up a lot of space PDF-wise.
Like, you need a separate PDF for every class. And... Well,
technically
these also don't work with multi-classing. Like, if you want to multi-class, you are out of luck.
True. However, we could technically compile these all into one solid PDF and then print whatever page you want.
I mean, true.
But that would be a lot of work, and I understand why he broke it down this way.
Yeah.
Again, I really like this because I do have it for a Barbarian conveniently.
Yeah. And
things are, again, grouped based off of skills. All your features are right there, front page, because sometimes I forget what some specific class traits are or features that I've picked up.
I don't forget what they are, but I do forget the specifics of them sometimes. Like, if you were to tell me, what are the exact specifics of rage? And I'm like, and like, if you gave me 5 minutes to sit and think about it, I'd probably figure it out. But in the middle of a session, would I remember the fact that rage gives you advantage on strength saving throws?
Right.
Probably not. But it's right there on the sheet.
Very true. I also have this particular sheet for an artificer, and that's really nice because artificers have a lot going on.
Yeah.
So all that's spelled out for you. It fits. Haven't used it for, like, artificers are full spellcasters, but...
Well, they're half casters.
Well, half casting, sorry. So I haven't used it for a full spellcaster yet. So I'm not sure how that would work.
It works pretty well still.
I do know, like, since I like picking feats over proficiency bonuses, they don't have a spot for that on the sheet. They just say additional combat features. So when I took Inspiring Leader, I put it over there in racial traits.
Yeah, that's a bit rough. I do like the way they do the proficiencies, where it's just like, because there's only 6 really that you need to worry about right here, where it's the 3 armors, your shields, and your martial and or simple weapons. 1 tiny box for languages, 1 tiny box for tools and other proficiencies, because really you don't get a lot of those.
No.
And usually they're not very important.
Very true. Well, I guess other proficiencies would be that Inspiring Leader, but again, I put it up in racial traits because it felt more like a lore thing, like...
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, no, I really do like that.
I also like that it has a spot for like your dice and stuff, like specifically for what you're doing.
Well, again, and I like that it sticks to the basics too. Like we haven't brought up the idea of the double bubbles for like expertise.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's got the double bubbles for expertise and stuff.
Yeah, you can't really fill it out in the PDF.
It is a little hard to manage though.
It is hard to manage PDF wise, but you can easily do it.
There we go.
There you go.
Gotta tab through these things.
But yeah, I do like that the hit points are there. The, again, main stats, AC, temp, AC, initiative, all that stuff's right up there in the top, the front. And that is across the board for all classes for the ones made by Emmett, and those are pretty cool.
So do we like this better or worse than this guy, who is our current frontrunner?
I personally like it better, but I can see, again, all that typing could be a lot of clutter for people. This page doesn't have an inventory.
Yeah.
So that is on, inventory is on second page, and I don't particularly care for that.
That's true. It's not without flaws.
Oh,
I will say that. But I think current frontrunner.
Yes, definitely. Unfortunately, a character sheet is like a resume. You definitely need to keep it down to one page, or else you're going to lose interest. It's going to be hard to keep track of what's the important information and what is just lost to the blur. So I'm wondering if they could have traded it up and put the class features that are spelled out here onto the second page for reference. But then again, then those feats would be lost. Like, I do know not many people forget their extra attack.
Yeah.
However, sometimes you forget about that, like Feral Instinct or your level 6 bonus or additional combat features.
Yeah.
But
we'll call this guy the front runner for the moment and see how he stacks up to a few more.
Definitely. Okay. So what's next?
So now we go to one near and dear to my heart, because this is the first character sheet that I actually used. Well, kind of.
A piece of toilet paper?
Oh, well, if you could call that a character.
Oh.
Probably better actually than my first character came out.
Oof.
But no, this is on mythweavers.com.
Okay, what's that?
It is a website that is free and has character sheets on it that you can access on the internet, which we haven't discussed yet. Basically, those PDFs you either have to have saved on your computer if you're playing online, or you have to print them out, which is kind of cumbersome and annoying. This guy loaded up in any web browser, used it on mobile, which isn't great. The mobile functionality is a little iffy, but I can just pull it up on any computer, and I have used them on mobile when I'm playing at like buddies' houses or whatever. Originally I did this for 3.5, but this is the 5th edition sheet.
Okay.
And it's not bad. So it's got all your standard stuff up here at the top. You can click whether or not you're a caster here, which actually matters. If the caster clicked, it gives you this nice little spell sheet in the middle. If you unclick it, it just doesn't have that.
Interesting.
Yeah, got a spot for your level. It does sort skills by the stat. It's still got all this stuff here. It's got a little bit too small of a box for features and traits. A little bit too much room for your other proficiencies, room for your equipment, whether or not you have an adventurer's pack. I mean, it's got all the relevant information here. It's all nice and easy to type into. Nice place for your spells, how many you've got prepared. And on the last page, you can actually load an image in here if you have one. Choose your hair and eye color, type your languages in. It's... Oh, I don't like that. Go back.
Pick done on the other side, babe.
Oh, there it goes. But yeah, I've used these sheets a number of times because, again, they're free and easy enough to make and access wherever you are, which is the main upside for this.
Downside is it's not pretty.
No, it is black and white and has white bubbles.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the other ones that we've seen the logos, we've seen the borders, we've seen the fonts. This has none of that.
Yeah, but how important is that versus online accessibility?
I do like the online accessibility. The trade-off is, though, is you could easily upload that PDF to a Google Drive, and there you go, there's your online accessibility.
Ooh, that's a good point. And this is what it looks like on mobile. I mean, it looks fine. Usually, if your phone's a little bit thinner, it kind of looks like that, and then you have to, like, zoom in and stuff, and it gets to be a bit of a pain, but it works. It's technically there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's not pretty, but all the information's there, just like the Wizards of the Coast is. And again, it's free, it's online. As long as you got a login password and Wi-Fi, you can access it from anywhere.
Yeah.
So that is the downside, is you have to have an internet connection or download it.
Yeah, that is true. So what do we think? Better or worse than the previous sheet?
I like the pretty.
That is fair. I'm arguing this is a close second.
Again, it's got its perk for mobility, and again, it's a basic sheet. All the info's there.
Yeah, there's nothing really awful about it, but you're right. It's just not very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't talk about online functionality without talking about the elephant in the room, D&D Beyond.
3 failures. Ouch.
Yeah, this is well.
He is dead.
Or Alakil Adarir did not make it.
Ah.
He did not make it out of the abyss.
Unfortunate.
Sadly. So this is
D&D and Beyond.
D&D Beyond. It's the most well-known online sheet in the community for pretty good reason, I will admit. I don't love it. And actually, I'm a pretty big arguer against it generally, but let's see why.
Okay.
So it's got all your stats up at the top, and actually, I have an add-on here in Google Chrome because we played this one online on Roll20.
Mm-hmm.
Got an add-on where I can just click anything here, and it will roll automatically in Roll20. So if I need to make a Constitution saving throw, click right there. If I've got advantage, hold Shift and I get doop, or Control and I get disadvantage.
That's cool.
It's got my passive stuff here, weapons and stuff here, all my skills, which do the same thing of I can click, AC sitting right there, defenses, active conditions. It's got all my spells over here, my inventory, features and traits, my description, all the lore I could want for him, notes that I have written down, and extras.
Interesting.
If you take a long rest or a short rest, you can click literally right here, and it will give you back all of your features. It will put your health back to full. Admittedly, it's all pretty slick.
So this is the most interactive sheet that we've seen, because so far it's just print it down and either type it or write it and keep track. This one will do it for you and do the math for you.
Yeah, it knows that I am level 14 here. And it knows what my proficiency bonus is for that level, and it knows what my stats are, so it calculates all of my skills, and it calculates all of my saves, and it calculates all my attack and damage rolls, and it does it all for me. And I hate it for that.
You hate that it does the math for you.
It makes me mad. I have learned how to make a D&D character. I know what I'm doing, and I know how to get all these numbers. And yes, is it convenient that it calculates my arcana for me? Yes, it is, and I won't disagree with that. But I know you have told me about some of the people you've played with that use D&D Beyond, and they have no idea how they got these numbers.
Yeah?
They have no idea how to formulate an attack roll. Yeah. They just click the button that says attack.
True. So the biggest gripe I've heard so far about D&D and Beyond is just the fact of the inventory.
Oh my god, it's awful.
It's awesome that you could just type something in and be able to add it. Easy peasy. So like if I said, short sword, you'd have that. Easy peasy. But if I said, the short sword of Murdu, you wouldn't be able to do anything to add that because it doesn't exist in any D&D stuff because I made it up.
Yep. It was especially difficult because you didn't use D&D Beyond and you were DMing. So you
was
make
the hard part.
The homebrew thing. And now you have to, they have to go type it up and all that, and it's just a pain in the butt. I know I had problems with the inventory, because this was a module. It's all stuff that's made up. I forget who it was. Somebody in the campaign just forgot to equip their shield. And they didn't think about it. They just saw their AC. They didn't worry about it. They just literally forgot to click the button. There was somebody else that hadn't equipped magic item, but they forgot to attune to it. So their benefits weren't even being calculated. But it doesn't really show you the breakdown for this, anywhere that I can... I'm sure you can find, but you have to click around for it, and they weren't clicking around. Right. So they didn't even notice they weren't getting the benefits for 3 sessions.
Right, so it sounds like D&D and Beyond is great for helping build a character, because again, I haven't built a character in D&D and Beyond, but I do know people are just like, oh yeah, I picked, I don't even know. I picked an elf, and it automatically put in all my character traits. Like, I didn't have to type it or look it up.
Yep.
And it automatically gave me Dropbox options of what type of elf.
Yep. It is very handy, like, when you hit, like, level 4, and you get the ability score increase, or a feat, and you just go, oh, maybe I think a feat, and you click the little drop down, it shows you all the feats, and I'm like, oh, that's very cool.
That is pretty cool.
It's got a lot of cool stuff, and...
It is very pretty, by the way, looking at that background.
Yeah, no, it's all very slick, it's all very nice.
But you're right.
Call me the old man, but this makes me think it's like the D&D equivalent of WALL-E, where everybody's like sitting in their like back chairs and they're struggling to do the basic movement because it did it all for them. Don't trust the robots.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're right. Because again, one little click and you're rolling plus or minus what 5, 6, 7, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah. Again, it's very convenient. I just grumble. I'm an old man. I like my pen and paper, or even I used the old one, but at least I had to roll the dice. Yeah, I played on Roll20. I had to type/roll.
Very true. And can we just talk about the elephant here? How much is a subscription for D&D and Beyond?
Yikes. Yikes. I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't actually own anything on D&D Beyond. This is all one thing they do that is kind of nice. They have content sharing. So because my DM has paid for everything and I am in his campaign, while I have a character in that campaign, I can use his content.
Understandable.
Which is kind of nice. So basically, if you have somebody in the friend group willing to spend, probably in the triple digits, money to unlock everything, then you do get to play with everything. But
yes, that was the other part too that I've noticed. If you're trying to add something that you did not buy the book for in D&D and Beyond, you don't get it. So if all you guys the player's handbook, you're not adding anything from Tasha's.
Yeah, I know we've also had just some technical issues. Like, he has all of the books, but for some reason I'm an Aberrant Mind Sorcerer, which comes from Tasha's book. And it would just disable all of my Aberrant Mind stuff for no reason, just because it was having a glitch where it couldn't verify that he owned Tasha's. Whole big thing. I don't want to turn this into a rant against D&D Beyond, because again, it's very convenient. I don't begrudge anybody for actually using it. But
so it is
old man grumble.
It is pretty. It is slick. Again, one of the main hindrances though is you have to be online. You have to have a Wi-Fi access, and I don't think that. I'm sure you could probably print this off somehow if you wanted to, but it's meant to be digital only.
Last grumble I'm gonna do is the spells. They all make nice and good sense at your cantrips. And your first level spells look all very nice because you can cast them here and it tells you what your spells do.
I do like the shorthand. I didn't even see that. The shorthand of action versus bonus action for range and everything.
It's quite nice. But then I noticed when I hit level 3 and I got my second level spells, I was like, oh, it shows you can upcast your first level spells down here in the second level spell slot, right? Which is cool. And then I got third level spells.
Oh, and it's just getting longer.
Yeah, and then I got higher level. And then I got higher level. And then I got higher level.
Lovely.
For 7th level spells, I have one actual 7th level spell, Etherealness. But look how long that is.
Yeah.
It's just...
I'm not sure how you could make that look nicer.
Yeah, I don't know what... I'm not trying to propose solutions. I'm here to grumble.
I know, but I don't know how you could make that look nicer, though.
True. We ready to move on?
Sure.
Are we not saying this guy's better?
I do like it, however, it's not good for teaching basic skill. Like, it...
Once you have achieved mastery, it's pretty cool to just be able to whip it out real quick, but it's not teaching you how to play the game.
It is not. I have no idea where any of your numbers came from. I mean, we could probably figure it out, but...
But you need to know the game at that point, and you're not going to learn from that, so...
Understandable.
Moving on, I think this one is kind of cool.
Interesting.
This one...
Yes, I think I shared this with you.
You did, and I managed to find it, and it's in Russian?
That one is, yes, I know,
Hold on.
I gave you one that wasn't. There it is.
This one's not Russian. So this one is the dyslexic character sheet.
Yes. So basically, it's the same thing as the second one we looked at, or actually, it's the first one. However, it is color coded and it's got symbols that jump out at you. Like initiative is how alert you are. I don't know what the fire means though.
I assume spellcasting.
Maybe spellcasting safe.
Why has it got a toilet paper for hit die?
That's a bandage. That's a bandage.
But it's got your attunement slots. I mean, yeah, I think this is literally just a straight upgrade, personally.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody is really gonna miss the bonds, flaws, and stuff. Your character bits from over here.
True.
But I like the pictures. And I think my favorite part is you don't you have to read these tiny little words. Green, dex, got it. Red, strength, got it. Purple. The only thing I would argue is, man, did they have to make the purple and the blue quite so similar?
Very true. Also, I do also love, again, this is like not just for the dyslexic either. It's great for people who are learning because initiative, it's got that exclamation point. It's got the wah next to it. So it's just like, oh, that's just, let's go.
It's got the what next to it?
The wah. I don't know. What else? What would you call that?
An exclamation point, but also
the
wah.
The exclamation. I said that, and then an exclamation point, and then the star bit. Like I don't know what. It's not a star though, but I do love on the left hand side strength. It's got strength and dexterity. The hand like dexterity is agility.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Constitution, intelligence versus wisdom and charisma. Like it helps break it down because I know that is one of the biggest things that we've had to do when teaching new players is what is the difference between intelligence and wisdom. And
everybody knows intelligence is brain and wisdom is eyeball.
Yeah, basically. Like it helps break it down.
Yeah.
And again, I just love that it is color coordinated, which would help anybody who just visually is trying to pick something out and pick something out quick.
True.
The downside is you gotta have color ink for your printer.
True. So, do we think that this one is better or worse than the class-specific character sheets?
It's hard, man. It's really hard.
I know, this is the first one where I'm really not sure.
Again, I do like how the class features are played out for the class feature one. However, I do like the color coding for this one. Mm-hmm. So if you liked just a plain old vanilla sheet, but you want to add some color, some pizzazz for a new player, I'd pick this. Yeah,
I think honestly that the class specific one, again, the downside of needing a specific sheet for every class, like you can't just like print that one out and bring it to a session with a new player and say, all right, here you go.
Yeah.
Like you have to know what you want ahead of time. This one is definitely a lot more new player friendly, which I think is very important, and I don't think that it falls off exactly for older players.
True.
The only thing I'm a little sad about is that, well, let me see if any of these other ones have spell stuff.
No, the spells,
well, it's
sheet.
the exact same.
Yeah, no, everything else is the exact same.
Spells are the exact same. Okay, well.
Unfortunately, that is the hard part to this as well, is it's only first page conformity, or non-conformity.
Yeah. Which definitely subtracts a few points in my book, but I think I would still give this one my vote.
Yeah.
You think?
I do like the color coordination and the availability, yes, but if we could get some better work in for the spellcasters, I would 100% endorse it.
That's true. So, we got a couple more here.
Okay.
This one is by Jonathan Dree.
I like the artwork.
I just thought this one was cute.
I
am under no intention that this one is better than any of the other ones, but I thought it was cute.
I like the artwork. I don't like the organization.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
You gotta kind of understand what you're looking for to be able to find it on this sheet. Considering, my first thought was, what are these boxes underneath the sword? It took me a minute to remember, oh, that's probably a weapon attack.
That's probably attacks. This is, I assume, your speed, initiative, or maybe that's initiative, that's speed, passive perception, stats, and their bonuses, saving throws, skills. I don't think this one, I haven't downloaded this one, we're just going off the preview. But I think it's cute. I think it's cool looking. I just wanted to show this one off because I liked it.
It is cute. There's not enough information on that first page. And again, all the stats are spread out and they don't need to be. They can easily be just tightened up into one box like they have been.
Yeah. It's got a little picture for your face, though.
It does. I do like the banner for your name. I don't understand the empty space beneath the banner.
Let's just think of that. I don't know what goes there.
I'm assuming that's where you would write in your alignment and stuff.
Look a little happy face.
I know. Again, I love the artwork. Not my cup of tea.
That's fair. And then we're moving on to the last one we have for today.
Okay.
Oh, it does not. Please, hello, open. Yep, there we go. Okay.
I like the color.
Yeah, so this one has color again.
From
Midgard? Is the first thing I saw. Yeah, it's from Midgard. It's got all of your stats up here at the top. This is the first one where I was like, oh, okay, it's got colors, it's got stuff, it's got its boxes. It's got all your stats kind of spread through the top here rather than up down like normal. It's got your skills in the alphabetical order that we agreed we didn't like quite as much. But all your good junk up here at the top. It keeps your save right near your stat, which I think is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Got, proficiency bonus, stats, initiative, all the weird stuff over there. Death saves over here. Keeps actually a spot for your exhaustion and conditions, which nothing else has so far.
Yeah, that is different.
I do think it's wasting some time with having 3 spots for your armor right here.
Yeah.
Like, I could see, one for your armor, okay, neat, and maybe one for your shield. Who has a third?
Someone who likes...
Who's swapping their armor?
Chadius, who just likes taking off his armor for some reason to roll in the dirt.
Yes, Enchanted full plate, enchanted shield, grease the bod!
Yes!
Got plenty of room for his attacks. I think my biggest gripe with this one is this teensy tiny box for features and traits.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not for that. I don't know how to make this better with, like, the only thing I can think of is trying to squish all those stats across the top, like, a little bit closer together just to make more room for everything else.
Yeah, honestly, I think if you just switch treasure and equipment with features and traits, you'd probably be in a better spot.
Probably.
Like, I know people have a lot of treasure, but, like, people have a lot of features, man. A lot of traits.
I'm just saying, that treasure and equipment, typically that means you're getting a magic sword, you're gonna put that up in your attack box, not...
Yeah. This is where you keep your caltrops and your health potions.
Yeah, and that cool fancy bracelet that gives you +3 to shooty.
Why do they all say pee-pee?
I guess that is,
How many pee-pees do you need?
If you're playing Pokemon, quite a few.
That's true. So what do we think?
I still like the other sheets better. I do like the color and the borders here. It's just not what I would be looking for in a character sheet.
That's fair.
But again, I just want to throw out one last time though, like the alphabetized versus the grouping based off of the skills. Again, especially for a new player, if you're thinking, what can I do that would look cool because I can do it the best?
Yeah.
What is my character good at? It's so much easier if you're looking at grouping because you see, oh, +4 to charisma. I automatically have a better chance of doing those than the -2 to intel.
Yeah.
Like...
Mr. Strongthman can look for his strength moves.
Well, unfortunately, strength skills are, like, athletics.
That's the one. That's it. Yeah.
That's it. Unless your DM is cool enough to be like, oh, this guy is so strong, he's intimidating.
Yeah, no, that's the one backup.
Out of
Midgard, you did good. I like you. But I don't think you can beat today's winner. Of dyslexic sheet.
Yeah, the dyslexic sheet. I do.
Maybe I need the dyslexic sheet.
I do wish the dyslexic sheet grouped, but I do like that it's color coded. It's got the extra like little pieces, and it's just overall a good collection of what do I want to see top of my resume.
Yeah, I mean it's got everything you need. It has, like, are there improvements to be made? Probably.
Yeah. But
I like it how it is. I don't think anybody's going to look at this worse than the default sheet.
Very true.
Like, yeah, you're missing the personality stuff over there, but otherwise, I think it is a straight improvement on an already good sheet.
Yeah, definitely. And
it's
to be honest, if someone wanted to get creative, they could try to take this, shrink it down, and just paste it over the default sheet, so then you have the words as well.
Then you squish the heart.
Oh no, the heart squish.
Oh, the heart squish.
But no, this is awesome, and I love that, you know, again, we found this. Where did we find this at? Did we say that earlier?
No! I've got to do more research.
I totally Googled different types of character sheets, and this just came up.
Well, luckily, everybody in the video, thanks to Mr. Editor Man himself, Mr. Future Jacob probably, has definitely found this and has edited this in by now.
Ah, cool. It's probably in the description below.
It's almost like all of them are in the description below.
Ah, good, good, good. So I think that's all we had to share today, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Definitely. So if you guys have something you want us to review, give us a shout out.
If you think you have a sheet that's better than Mr. Dyslexic here, please. We'd be happy to take a look.
But until next time, this is Sam.
And this is Ham.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.